Welcome and thanks for watching this software presentation of RADICES, which is intentionally pronounced that way, and also a Twitter follow network crawler for influential accounts using the cost-free Twitter Standard API. My name is Felix Victor Münch, and I am a researcher at the Social Media Observatory of the Leibniz Institute for Media Research, or the Hans Bredow Institute in Hamburg. My co-developer on this project is Ben Thies, who is currently a master's student at the Humboldt University in Berlin. Let's start with a very short explanation of the underlying method of RADICES. Generally speaking, RADICES is an adaptation of the so-called rank degree method for Twitter. In simple terms, some walkers start at the number of starting seeds. They then follow the connection to the neighbor with the highest in degree. This neighbor becomes the seed for the next step. Afterwards, they burn this path so that it cannot be walked again. Then the process repeats. Simples. But what can this be used for? Basically, this is helpful to identify the most influential Twitter accounts in an unknown large-scale Twitter follow network and to collect, explore, and analyze the long-term structures of information flow between them. Let's illustrate this. For an already accepted peer-reviewed publication, RADICES enabled us to collect an impressive sample of the macrostructure of the German-speaking Twitter sphere. I recommend to read the preprint, especially because it explains the method and the base version of RADICES much more detailed than I can in this video. However, to do this, we still needed to use a seed pool containing a majority of the sampled population. This data is often not available. So, to overcome this practical limitation and make RADICES more usable for researchers without prior data, we introduced a feature we call bootstrapping. This can generate your own seed pool on the go. At every step, the followers and friends of the seeds at hand are added to the seed pool. This leads to kind of a snowballing behavior. However, the rank degree method avoids the exponential growth of the sample, which would trap our collection locally around the starting seed in case of snowball sampling. Therefore, if you are familiar with network sampling, RADICES kind of combines the advantages of snowball samples with a more efficient forest fire behavior. Furthermore, we introduced the possibility to filter for multiple languages at once. Also, because Twitter's language detection is not the best, we made it possible to define a threshold for how many tweets of an account have to be in one of these languages according to Twitter. Altogether, this enabled a collection of a sample of the German-Italian Twitter sphere. If you look closely at the figure, you can see that they seem to be connected mainly by their love for soccer. Stay tuned for more results at IC2S2 this year. Actually, for this presentation, we have implemented the possibility to only follow connections to accounts that have used certain keywords. We had planned to do a live demonstration by collecting ICA-related tweets. However, this is not happening as we have to record this before the conference due to COVID-19. Therefore, last weekend we simply crawled influential accounts mentioning COVID-19 with Trump, Biden, and Anthony Fauci's Research Institute as the starting seeds. You can quickly have a glimpse at the result on the right. If you want to work with us on this data, we are always open for collaborations. Of course, we will also support you with your own data collection if you are interested. That's it with the appetizers. If you are hooked by now and want to know more, you can read our presentation's abstract, the preprint about the German Twitter sphere, which contains a more detailed description of the method, or you can just try RADICES yourself with help of the installation instructions on GitHub. Let's see how to try it. While it is still a simple command line tool, RADICES has a help function which you can access with the classic -h argument. All options not controlled by command line arguments are defined in the config file. For this, we provide a template. Here you define how the necessary MySQL database can be accessed. One of my favorite features is that you can also select which user details you need to collect. Also, with a Mailgun account, you can get email notifications if RADICES should encounter a problem. The seed pool, or just the starting seeds, are defined in a simple CSV file. Here you still see the Twitter account IDs of Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Dr. Fauci's Research Institute. So to collect a follow network around these accounts, I follow the help above and type the following. As always, python start.py. The number of seeds, which in this case is a number of walkers, acts a bit like a breadth first, depth first parameter. The higher, the broader your crawl will be. For presentation's sake, we chose a low number. Let's focus on English and Spanish tweeting accounts. But to avoid false positives, for example, Italian might sometimes be detected as Spanish, we will define a threshold. Also, let's only follow connections to accounts who have mentioned Corona or COVID in their last 200 tweets. If we would have stopped the collection at some point, we could have continued with this option. To speed up the collection, by only looking at the most recent 5,000 followers or friends, we look only at one page of followers per account. And finally, almost most important, this activates the bootstrapping so that we can expand our seed pool on the go. And action. Now RADICES will start to download the necessary information and act up a little bit about the seed pool being smaller than the number of walkers, but after a few iterations, this problem will begin due to bootstrapping. Let's look in our MySQL database. Voila! We have the first edges in our database, which can easily be exported to network analysis tools like Gephi. If you let this run for about 3 days, you will get a similar dataset as you have seen visualized before. A few more things that I would like to mention. First, we have used RADICES for collections that lasted up to half a year by now. Because the whole development was test-driven, it runs amazingly stable, and the email notification feature became almost obsolete. As said, it is easy and explained in the README to export the results to Gephi or any other tool able to read Edge and node lists. Also, RADICES is under active development and we are planning more studies to further test the method for robustness and validity. In any case, I can confidently say that it's the most powerful exploratory tool for Twitter follow networks that I know today, if you have no elevated access to Twitter APIs, that is. I hope you'll find it helpful for your work. That's it. Thanks for your attention spans. All links will be posted in the description or the comments, and I'm looking forward to your questions.